4 and then that one.
Yeah. Right, and I know they could be dragging it this way.
Hey, Patrick, how you doing? Oh, it's another beautiful day, brother. Another beautiful day. Let's see. How is the quality with this camera? Is it pretty decent? I can't quite tell on this, but I want to make sure it's decent. Oh yeah. Audio is good. Nice. Do you guys hear that radio? Is that too loud? I have a podcast going in the background, but didn't want to. It's too quiet. You know what I mean? Can't hear it. Awesome. Oh, you ordered the torque wrench. Nice Precision Instruments. Nice. Yeah, happy to pass it along. I've been eyeing that thing for a while. I heard through the grapevine. I wasn't able to find what I was telling you, but I heard through the grapevine that Snap-on makes it, or they make it for Snap-on. Is what I mean. But $300, that's a pretty good deal for a split beam. I like that you don't have to back off the spring tension either. Why is that file loud? there might be a way I can turn it down. Let's see. Still trying to figure out this whole thing. There might be a way I can turn down the sensitivity of the microphone. Maybe I'll just quit bearing into it. How about that? If there's a gain option, let's check that out. Not seeing a gain option. It's all right. I'll just quit filing like an animal. Is that better if I'm a little easier? So this 461. See if we can get that. Oh. Yeah, it's a 461. I believe it's 77 cc's. Yeah, 77 cc's. Nice. It's a good powerful saw. Does well for my needs. I only use it for firewood, but it's nice to have extra power. I got a couple bars for it. I have a 25-inch bar and a 32-inch bar. And I have a ribbing chains for 32. I like to cut some slabs if I can. Well, I'm an engineer, but I used to be a excavation contractor. I used to run heavy equipment, and I worked at this company for about 10 years, I believe it was, something like that. I kind of grew up in the company, and I used to run an excavator, kind of back in the day, doing water mains and a lot of commercial construction. So yeah, kind of went to school after that. I became an engineer, but I kind of like to stay involved, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I still run a loader for the guy, and I plow a facility near us. That may change pretty soon. We'll see. That's right. Never let people to get too far. So I'm a geotechnical engineer. I oversee drilling activities. Interesting work. I install I install borings into the ground, usually overburden and bedrock type of borings. I also do what is it? Sorry, I'm losing my words on here. I also do like compaction type things for buildings. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I've only been in it for 2 years now since I got out of school, but it's an interesting bunch. Yeah, I'd still like to do that plow stream. Seems like we're gonna have a pretty good storm out here. It looks like we're gonna have about a foot of snow, I believe it is, 10 inches. But this time of the year, it's gonna be real wet and heavy. So I'm in central Massachusetts, and I grew up here, kind of close to New Hampshire border. My wife and I were looking at moving out of state, but you know, she didn't want to go too far from family. We just ended up buying a house out here. So here we are. Let's see. About halfway. That's right. We would have loved to move to Maine. I actually got offered a job up in Maine not too long ago, but would have loved to do it. But you get so far removed from family, and you know it's tough to move. 6+ hours away, especially when you're kind of starting out your life. Absolutely. Wife and I don't have kids yet. We just got married, but kids come quick, so I'm told, right? That's right. The built-in babysitters. Table saw. Oh, let's see. It was a freebie, so forgive me if I don't know a lot about it. It's a Delta 10-inch contractor saw, I believe. A 34-670. It's a pretty good saw. We're kind of in the process of remodeling our house at the same time. Yeah, if it's free, it's for me, right? Oh, shop's an aggressive word for it. It's more like a laundry room. But it's heated, and that's the important part, right? Yeah, those job sites are nice. guy I used to work for had one of those job site saws. I believe it was a 10-inch, and I was always impressed at how much you can actually feed those things. I never did any like real woodworking with it, but they were pretty strong. I used to help him out at his house all the time, especially ripping three-quarter inch plywood. Shop status, that's right. Although my wife's trying to kick me out of the shop, she doesn't like when I fire up the table saw in here because it gets sawdust all over the place. And this type of saw doesn't have a collection unit, so it just throws sawdust everywhere. It's just unbelievable. Man, sparkles. I thought the saw was duller, but doesn't really look it. The home I just bought, the previous owner was kind enough to take down about three to four pines. They're each about 150 feet tall. So, and they left them there for about 3 years. So they're all they are all rotted and junky. So I've been trying to cut it up, and this is the second chain I've had on this thing that I've worn out. No, sir, it's a Doosan. It's a Doosan DL200. It has a 14-foot box on it. Just a push box. Does pretty well. A lot of power. I believe it's about you need your CDL to run on the roads. I think it's 25,000 pounds without the bucket on it. Then once you put the bucket on it, you need your CDL to drive down the street. Great engineering product. Yeah. I've been trying to think of something. It seems like it throws kind of sawdust everywhere, but it looks like it mostly throws it underneath, kind of down below in the shelf. So I've been trying to, make something with a hole in it that I can try to suck it in. I have a nice, I don't really have any dust collection, but I have a shop vac that I'd like to kind of configure to use. We had a project where we were redoing our kitchen, doing some cabinet work and whatnot, and I had to trim each of the doors about 1/8 inch, 1/4 inch, kind of depending, and the amount of sawdust that produced just making those small cuts was too much for my wife. She doesn't like it after that. I almost got kicked out. I almost got banned from the garage. That side. This is. Get this thing going. Sandy does make a mess. Absolutely, it does. more of a mess than I'm ready for. Sometimes I like to try and save my sanding projects until it's outdoors, or at least warm enough to sand outside. Let's see. I'll lift this thing up in a while. Oh, that's a smart move. That works. Let's see. I believe we have to put trim that a little bit. It's been a while, so this thing is so dry. That's tough, yeah. Did it go out? There we go. Right in front of me. I like to get this hand warmer going when I'm down here, because it gets can get pretty cold in here. It's heated, but it's I like to keep the heat fairly low. We're in oil here, so it. Festivals are really cool. I'm all about that. I was looking at what was it? A domino joint here not too long ago. Something I would love to buy, but it's I tell you, the price of some of those tools is just wild sometimes. The last one. Yeah, I think it was. I remember reading. Porter Cable. I don't know if it's a domino jointer though. It's a oh, I can't remember the name. Dowels, maybe? I don't know. I'm a wannabe woodworker. Every time I do it, I realize I never have the tools. Or, well, let me back that up. I do have the tools. I just don't have a clean enough space that doesn't ruin everything I'm working on. Although something I have been eyeing is that tool bench that Cody made years ago. Like, I forget what it's called. The poor man's carpenter bench, I think he called those videos. Fake it till you make it. That's right. I'd love to make one of those benches though for in here. I think that would be great. I'd like to put it kind of right here where the saw is, and then kind of turn the saw sideways. Maybe double as like an out feed table. I think we all overwatch YouTube. Yeah, give me a day or two to figure it out. A lot of the people I work with, if we need to like kind of figure something out, there's a good 80% chance you can find at least a first step on YouTube or the internet or something. Cody's content is good. I gotta hand it to him. He does good work. I've been watching his stuff for a long time. Now that I kind of got older, bought my own home and everything, I started to see more practical uses for this stuff. Yeah, I do like his values. He does. He's pretty good. He's you know, like all men, we can't agree 100% with everything, but Cody's a great guy, from what I can see. How recently did you find him? I gotta start listening to Rogan. A lot of people have recommended me to start listening to Rogan, and 3-4 months ago, nice. Yeah, I gotta start listening to Rogan. Everyone's told me you gotta listen to Rogan. You gotta listen to Rogan. I just haven't really done it. I have so many podcasts, and I spend so much time on the road in a car that, especially when I used to drive a truck, I would listen to countless podcasts, and I never listen to Rogan. But I really gotta check into him. Is he on Spotify? He must be. You can check that out. Oh, is he like an interview type guy? Oh yeah, the Joe Rogan Experience. Am I reading this right? He's got almost 2,000 episodes. Wow. Yeah. Let's see who's he got on there. Yeah, there's a great podcast that I listened to on. The guy's also he also does YouTube with the Essential Craftsman podcast. Everyone listens to that. I love that podcast. I think it's awesome. He did one with the Lady Bo Peep. He did, yeah, well, it's different when his son does the interviews. It's kind of when his son does the interviews, I almost don't seem to enjoy it. But when he is on there, when he is Jones, yeah, Central Crowd. I really like him. I like when he does when he interviews other guys. He did one not too long ago. It was with Buck and Billy Ray Smith, and I tell you that was I listened to that interview a few times. He's a good. That is a knowledgeable guy. And when you get those two type of men talking, it's it's interesting. Yeah, definitely check into that. He talks a lot about he kind of reminds me of Mike Rowe almost. How Mike Rowe used to talk all about the blue collar workforce and how it was like almost like a what is it? When it was declining like years ago. And he kind of reminds me of it. He romanticizes the trade a little bit, in my opinion, but at the same time, the guy is very smart, and he seems to know what he's talking about. He's like Mike Rowe, except he actually lived it. Mike Rowe was kind of like a guy. I think he was an actor. I don't know exactly too much about him. To be honest, I used to like him more before I realized that he wasn't in the trade. Yeah, I used to like him more when he wasn't in the trade. But this guy's very good. I'm a big fan. Oh, really? Is he as nice in person? Let's see. Very successful. That's good. I always like when you meet some of these people in person and they're actually as genuine as they appear to be. Kind of like what you were saying not too long ago, Lexi Landscape. You were saying a second ago. I can't find your chat. I read it though. I don't know. You were saying it's amazing how it is that when you're a normal person, how how well that works out for some people. How just acting like a human being. You know. Did I lose my place? This file still seems pretty good. So your hands get cold when you're holding this bar. Absolutely, brother. Have a good rest of your night. Let's see, where are we at? I tell you though, this is quite the combination. I like the 461. 461 with for hardwoods, 25-inch bar. Yeah, appreciate it. Hey, have a good night. Let's see, is everything sharp? Oh, yeah. Hey Patrick, welcome back. It's a Steel 461, 77 cc's. It's got I got a 25 and a 32 for it. It definitely does the job. Actually, I bought this not too long ago. I think it was a year ago. I just ended up getting a decent deal on it. I would have liked one of those 500i's, but for a firewood saw, can't really beat it. Oh, really? So what do you think about the 461 then? I've heard a lot of good things about it, but I don't particularly know. I definitely like their products. They make some nice stuff. I think for my needs, the 500 probably would have been too much saw, but at the same time, I guess so, right? I've heard some good things about them. I've run this one quite a bit, and it's got a lot of power. I cut a lot of oak with it, a lot of recently a lot of pine, too much pine. But I like to burn red oak for my firewood. 017, that's not quite a top handle. It's like a tiny. It's a smaller saw, right? Yeah. 20 years old. I think I've seen those. My old boss gave me one of those back in the day. I think I don't know if it was an 017, but I have this little Echo too. I have a couple saws. I have this guy, which is like my nice saw. I have a Johnson 638 Super, and I have a small Echo. It's a 50cc Echo, and I kind of use that for just junk. It's only got like a little bar in it. Yeah, I've heard good things about the Echo. I was just kind of given the saw. My father just gave it to me, and he just said use it for pallets and brush and whatever. But I've actually come to really like it. It's got pretty good power for what it is. Yeah, this is an older one. I haven't run a new one. I've heard good things about them though. Yes, sir. I am a Wrangler Star member. No, Chris B. I gotta ask you because I follow this guy on YouTube. By the name of Chris B. He does archery. You're not him, are you? Not you. Yeah, there's a guy on YouTube. I don't know if he hunts or not, but he's really into archery. Does like real long range type stuff. Same name as you. Interesting guy. A lot of the hunting podcasts and whatnot I listen to. He shows up in there occasionally. I saw your name on Cody's channel not too long ago though, and I was like, I wonder if that's the guy. Yes, sir, I am. Yep. Group 4. I don't know if we changed our name yet. Overton. How we doing, brother? We did not get there yet. We what are we at now? 37. Oop, don't do that. I'll leave. Last I checked, I think we were at 38 subscribers. I need to get to 50 before I can do it. We still got a good storm going. I'd like to do it if I can. I just got to get my subscribers up just a little bit more. I think it was at 50. I think it was 50. Oh, that's an Overton question. That's what needs some work, huh? Six groups, huh? Wow. Now, what do you have, a cap on that? How many people you can put per group? Or are you trying to, like, divide it up? Yeah, it would be pretty overwhelming. There's 6 groups at, like, I don't know, 20 people apiece. That's quite a bit. Need some work on that. Oh, 164 messages? Yeah, I fall behind pretty fast on that. No, I turn the chat on mute occasionally, so my phone's just not sitting at my desk all day vibrating. At night, I'll turn it back on, but yeah. Especially if I'm in the office or something, everyone will be like, "The hell is that?" Yeah, 30 per group. That sounds pretty bearable. I'm sure there's a lot, or not a lot, but I'm sure there's some people who aren't really participating either. But yeah, answer your question earlier, Overton. I'd like to do that plow stream earlier. Or sorry, that plow stream Friday, if I can. I just got to get. I think it's 12 more subscribers, and then I can punch in for the mobile streaming. Those should be fairly long streams. My shift for plowing is usually 12 shorts. I thought you said it was. Oh, 4 shorts. Yeah, I gotta make a couple more shorts. Yeah, I need 12 more subscribers. That was at. It'll go up and then it'll just kind of come back down for some reason. I can whip up a couple shorts. That's no big deal. shoot a short live. Give me an idea. I'll shoot a short live. What are we gonna do? "40-second expert." That's actually a good one. I like that. What do you guys want to see me fumble on camera? Is that what's going on here? Yeah, I did see that. You can go live with multiple people. I did see that. Oh, there's only one? Yeah. Yeah, this tooth is fighting me. Huh? I'm still trying to figure out how to, with the lives, how to kind of divide up some of the clips, though. I don't know if you can do that in studio or you have to do it onto a different, on a different software. Yeah, 3-second lag. I can see that. I imagine that'd be pretty tough. Studio? Really? Download the entire stream from Studio, cut it up in another program. Now, what do you use for another program, if you don't mind me asking? Shotcut. Huh. I'll have to check that out. There was one I downloaded not too long ago, but I never gave it the time. Some of these things you just gotta put the time into it. It's all like that's all a lot of it is. Oh, that one knocked the corner right off. This thing's still. Ooh, that thing is still lit. Have a good one, Chris. Yeah, I'll check out Shotcut. That seems pretty good. Because Studio can be challenging. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm always trying to do it on my phone, but iMovie. All right. My problem is when lately especially, I work from home fairly often. So you sit in front of a computer most of the time, and then all of a sudden to do more of this stuff, you sit in front of a computer. It drags on. So I like to try and shoot the shorts outside if I can, and try and at least do something interesting if I can. I don't know. I like to think I'm not that interesting of a guy. right? All right, that chain. Gotta do a couple more. Four of us. I think we got up to 5 at one point. At least that from what I saw. 2, oh man. Stick it, shortcut, audio, and export. Yeah, can you use Simulink Computer too? I haven't really looked into that, but I think I said it somewhere. All right. One shot though. What a guy, man. Got all the chips off that. That can go away. There we go. All right. Teeth are sharpened. Let's get the rakers done. Ooh. Is it worth the fresh file? No, let's use the old file. What's going on everyone else's world tonight? This is those times I need a file card. I don't have a file card. I really need to get one. Nothing going on tonight? Yeah, nothing was going on tonight for me either, but I wanted to. My wife went out, and I gotta get this saw sharpened. So if we're doing something, you might as well film it, right? Especially if it's indoors. I want to set up my that reloading station I was talking about right here. It's a nice long bench. I think it's probably, I don't know, about 10 feet long. I think that'll be pretty nice because you could have like, I already have a grass dryer and a tumbler. You could kind of do like you press over here and just some, like just a little workstation right here. I also have a bench on this side right here that like a toolbox. Although I want to get I'd like to make either a taller bench or get a shorter toolbox and get something that can go underneath this and pull it out when I need to. I think that would be pretty nice. All right, time to do the rakers. Yeah. And that's why I haven't done it, because you got to leave it all set up full time. I'd like to do it in the near future, but I want to figure out a way that I can almost stow it. Yeah. Oh, Sean, how you doing? Yeah, I got a similar one right here. It's just a Husky pull out, but stowing it. Sky, how we doing, brother? This thing's still hot. Yeah, that thing's getting hot now. All right. Let's do the rakers now. This raker gauge is something that always confused me. When I started using this gauge, when I started using this gauge, now this is a steel raker gauge, right? So, the camera's up here. It's a steel raker gauge. And the way that I thought you were supposed to use it is you go this way and kind of rest it on top and sharpen against this way, right? Now, if you do that, you could hit your tooth that you just sharpened. And then I recently found out, or I kind of discovered on my own, and then I confirmed it, that you go this way against the tooth, hold it on top, and now when you sharpen your raker, you take your thumb like that, your bare mitt, hold it into a spot where it's not going to move, like so, and then you just kind of, now you're technically supposed to move your hand so it doesn't, you're supposed to use this as a gauge, feel it with your finger, remove it, and then do that. Who's got time for that, right? So I hold it on top, just kind of pinch it down, and then I check your raker. Then you move along. And I think a lot of people think that you can't do your rakers from both sides, so both sides of your chain from one side, which is just absolutely not true. You can do your rakers from both sides, just like that. You just move right along. And if you're doing this on your own, I'd recommend you do it. Do we see that? I'd recommend you do it right here, where your master link is, where they put the chain together, because that way you can figure out where you stopped and where you started. So yeah, this thing is getting in the way. Yeah, these might be good. Yeah, eyeballing it, yeah. That's how my father told me to do it when he kind of taught me back in the day. I learned all this on YouTube, to be perfectly honest with you. Well, supplementing what I already knew with what I found on YouTube. because out here on the East Coast, nobody's too what's the word? We do things a little differently, essentially. You know, everyone's got the smaller bars and whatnot, but our trees are still pretty big. We got some pretty large oaks. But a lot of people like 20-inch bars on saws like this. Orange and white is the way to go. That's right. This is a 461. Yeah, everyone thinks you got to run a 20-inch bar and whatnot. I don't like doing a 20-inch bar. I think it's too small. Don't get me wrong. They all have their place, but this is a 25, and honestly, I wouldn't really go much smaller than this. Ah, that's a good tip. All right. Oh, that is a good tip, because then I won't be rambling about nothing, right? Or what might sound like nothing. Multiple size bars, yeah. So my father kind of grew up burning firewood, so he taught me quite a bit about using a saw safely. He taught me quite a bit about using a saw safely, and then when I moved to excavation, we did a lot of land clearing, and I used to run the machines fairly often, but it's always amazing how many people don't know how to actually use a saw carefully, or not, maybe carefully is not the word, safely, or take down a tree safely. So I found myself in the ground more often than in the machine. And, you know, I'd have it that way. Now I don't really get out much and use it ever since I kind of changed. I ramble when I live stream because I'm driving. Yeah, so I used to be a truck driver back in the day, Patrick. And I know what you mean. I used to drive so I have my CDL, and I used to drive triaxles, a lot of combos. I used to drive like a tractor with a dump trailer and whatnot. I had my hands in a little bit for a little while, and then I got out of school and started working as an engineer. Oh man, 10? It was 10. Now we're 8. I have a 261 Beast commercial grade. Yeah, I've never run a 261, but I've heard good things about them. I like the steels. Huskies are real popular out here, but I don't know. It's the first steel I've had, and honestly, it is one nice saw. Hello from Minnesota. How you doing, Ty? Tyler? Imagine. I'm a geotechnical engineer, so I work with a lot of drill rigs and whatnot. Oh, what type of engineer? I'm a geotechnical engineer. I gotta read it. Yeah. For light work, the 1-stars are on Husky. Yeah, they are tough to beat. My dad liked the 372, and he also drove. He also ran a 572, I think it was. He had both those. I liked the 572, and I was trying to get something like that, but this kind of fell into my hands. I actually bought this used for, what was it? $400. It had 5 hours on it. I bought it from a guy I knew. He bought it. He bought this because he needed a bigger saw, and he ended up going with a 500i after the fact and a 660, and sold it. Sold it to me. I bought it from my old boss, and it's oh yeah, good saw, good deal. Got my oldest son a Steel for his 16th birthday, along with his S10 from his father-in-law. Just a little one with a 14-inch bar, but it's good for him to learn what we do. Yeah, that's right. Got to start him young. So I started cutting firewood with my father when I was like, I think I was 12. Yeah. I mean, not cutting, I was more just helping him. But it's a process. I heat my home now with firewood when I can. Love me a 372 XP. I do love a 372 XP. X-Torque or non-X-Torque? That's the real question. Andy Mike. All right. There you go. 60-volt DeWalt, huh? I've actually have not used an electric chainsaw yet. Do you like that thing? No, sir, not a 20-inch. It's a 20. Steel calls it a 25, I believe it is. I got a 25 for it and a 32 right behind me. But I like to use this is a full house chain too. Does pretty well. For our wood at least, it does pretty well. My brother bought the Milwaukee electric saw. Oh, Dr. Pepper, how we doing? I don't think we've actually chatted, but nice to see you. Welcome. $60 volt. 60 volt is awesome. It is by no means commercial grade, but it's good enough. Well, sometimes good enough is everything you need, right? Yeah, sometimes it's overkill though. I find I have a little 50cc. I think me and Patrick were talking about it earlier. I have a 50cc Echo that's got to be like 20 years old, and I think I cut more things with that than I do with this. And I also got an old Johnson, a 638 Super, and I use that all the time too. I mean, I use them both. I only use this when I'm cutting nice wood. I prefer non-X-Torque, but that's just my personal preference. Non-X-Torque is where it's at. I agree with that. That's 16-inch. I bought the new 18 and 20 to try them out. $391 with a 25-inch bar and a Johnson at $225 with a 24. Well, see, it's that Johnson, Tony. $56. That's a good size for that. I think my 638 Super is like 63. approximately. I don't know. It works good for. I use it for just junky wood. The only chain I have for it, it's let's see if we can show you. The only chain I have for it, it's got these safety rakers. So you gotta either file those off or get a different chain. What's that, Patrick? Pull the muffler and check the cylinder wall. Dr. Pepper, what is a safety raker? Weird. Safety raker, it's like an anti-kickback type thing. It pretty much, let's see if I can show it. So when you look at this straight on, right? Oh, that's going to be tough. So here's your tooth, your raker, and your safety raker. And then when you have your tooth cutting that direction, your regular raker follows your cutting edge. Your safety raker is pretty much just a little wider, and it kind of spans the width, and it just makes it a little less likely to kick back. I think it's for people who are just not as seasoned with them. But I don't know. I've never bought a saw with a safety raker on it. Sharpening chainsaw is above my pay grade. Dr. Pepper, new 572 XP. Nice. Definitely be the first step at that price of a friend who lent me his shed when he reeled saws, other engines. It is, yeah. I'm, you know, I'm no professional. But you learn, you know, a chain's only what, 40 bucks, 50 bucks, whatever. You sharpen it. If you mess it up, just sharpen it again. And you know, what's the worst that happens? It doesn't cut, right? You just take it off and you sharpen it again. Keep trying until it's sharp. You'll learn it. It's not too incredibly difficult. It's a good thing to know. It's a very good thing to know. I used to work with a guy who wouldn't learn how to sharpen saws, and he would not put the time into it. So he would take the chain off, bring it to a power dealer or like a power place, like a you know what I'm saying, an equipment dealer, and he'd drop it off, and he'd have them sharpen it for him. He'd drop off like 5 chains at a time, and he'd do that every time. He would not buy a file, and I was like, "What are you doing?" I mean, I'm taking my time here. It's been a little while for me, but if you're taking your time, you can do this in, I don't know, an hour. If you were actually just doing this and not, you know, not messing around like I'm doing, you could probably have this sharp in 20 minutes or so. Spending cash, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Spending time in it's all about the quiet time for me, you know. I spend enough time in super loud environments. I'd rather just kind of hang out. And I quit drinking, which is wasn't too incredibly difficult for me. I didn't really drink much to start with, but I've struggled with high blood pressure my whole life. So I noticed when I stopped drinking, my wife and I did dry January, and I noticed when I stopped drinking, my blood pressure dropped little over 10 points. I was at 150 over 90, and now I'm at 138 over 78, I believe it was, in my last DOT physical. Jed Walter, yeah, I have seen some of Jed's. He just passed, unfortunately, which is too bad. High blood pressure, yeah. 10 pounds, yeah. Well, you know what that bought me? So where I am, I've only had a 1-year DOT card for my CDL for the last 3 years, I think it was. And I could not get the blood pressure down. I was eating better. I was exercising. I was exercising after like laboring all day. You know what I mean? And I still couldn't get the blood pressure down. I stopped drinking for a month, and my blood pressure dropped to 10 pounds. Pretty much on both sides, 10 pounds on one side and or 12 pounds on both sides, I guess. But that's it helped, and that made me a believer. Yeah, let's use that. Tony, have a good one. Hope to see you back. So here's the question for all the saw users here. How often do you flip your bar? Every other? Okay. Or so, yeah, or so. Every third, okay, that's pretty good. I like to do it. This is just me personally. Whenever I swap a chain. See you, Tony. Yeah, I'm kind of in Tony's boat, to be perfectly honest. I like to flip the bar every time I sharpen the chain, which is probably way too much. Don't use it enough to need to, so I buy it. I don't use it enough to need to, so I buy it, get home, and flip it, so it looks like I know what I'm doing. It's all a mind game, right? It is easy to remember that way. That's right. I like to just kind of do it every time. Bars aren't getting any cheaper, and especially where I live, you really need to have a chainsaw working all the time. Because if you don't, I don't know, you have something come across the driveway, you need to get out. My father always told me a story like that. Apparently, when I don't know if it was I was being born or my brother was being born, but being born, a tree came across the driveway, and he worked for the DPW for a long time, and I guess he called someone he worked with, and they came down with a loader and pushed it across the driveway or into the middle of the yard. No, sir, not on this one. I do not grease a sprocket. These are non-greasable in these steels. But I'll show you a trick, what I like to do. Let me get this cleaned out. Yeah, give me a second, gentlemen. I'll be right back. the Jeopardy music. No, I keep all the Loctite in the garage. Oh, I forgot what I was getting. I had another one. All right, now I'm back. Oh. The upside down bar is a good conversation piece, huh? Nope, my wife's in the chat. Retro encabulary. Can you clarify that? Oh. Well, I'll have to check out the video. All right, gotta clear out the. So these steels, they'll love to, even when you clean it out with your scrunch, it loves to just push sawdust into the oiling holes. You gotta take your file, push it back. Take your file and you push out your sawdust, just like that. So you can have good oiling. There we go. All right, and here's my trick for the here's my trick for your bars that are non-greasable. I like to take a little bit of bar oil. I saw someone do this in a job site years ago, and I asked him what he was doing, and they looked at him like, with 3 heads, what are you doing? You're wasting bar oil. And when he explained it, it made so much sense. You put the bar oil in there, and instead of there being grease to lubricate the sprocket, you just put a little bit of bar oil in there. And I like to just kind of move it around. No, I'll let it soak. Just kind of like that. This stuff's so sticky. And the saws that I always grew up with, they always had greasable tips. But it's the first one I've had that doesn't have a greasable tip. All right. clean the power head. Just quickly, I always like to scrape out all the junk around the clutch. And I tell you, this thing's pretty dirty for a saw that I blow off every time I use it. I'm still trying to find parts of my dad's old saw. He said if I find the parts and get it to run, it's mine. Old school Homelite X2 with manual oiler and no chain brake. Loud as hell. Homelite X2. Yeah, that guy online's really into those Homelites. The fucking Billy Ray, he seems to like those a lot. I personally have not seen many Homelites, but they look like pretty stout saws. Oh man. Give it one more pull. And I like to take just a little bit of, just an oily rag and wipe down the outside. I think Cody's really into those AMSOIL products. I've never really tried them, but I'm trying to keep this thing nice. Patrick, are you still in here? No, I wonder if he took off. I was curious what everyone's thoughts were on the 2-cycle oil. I'd always run the steel 2-cycle oil, or sorry, 2-stroke oil, and that's always been pretty good in my opinion. But recently, I've heard the AMSOIL is the way to go. Does anyone have any thoughts on that? Do you want to say hi to everyone? No? Okay. No valuable thoughts on that. Yeah, Steel 50-1. I like the Steel Ultra, but recently I heard that that was not as good, apparently. I don't know. AMSOIL all the way. Yeah, the brand is full. All right, let's put this thing back together. don't run synthetic? Why is that? I think I like the Steel Ultra stuff. That's what I always run. Why not why do you say no synthetic? V8 chainsaws. There we go. Rings won't see. Interesting. Now, isn't the Moto Mix? I thought that was. I thought they made that with synthetic oil, no? Oh, after they're seated, yeah. Oil is too good. Interesting. Oh, my wife agrees. You agree? All right, put the chip deflector back in. No, I do wish is what they did in one of these saws is that they put I wish they put captive bar nuts on these. The new ones all have captive bar nuts, but these older ones don't. And if you ever do this, not at a bench, these things just disappear. Dan, see you later. Tell her we said hi. Here's a good one for anyone struggling to put the bars on. Instead of holding the tip out like this and kind of dialing it back, take your saw and lean it. You might not be able to see that. Take your saw and lean it like this, so you rest it on like a piece of wood or something, and then tighten your bar nuts like this. Just take it like that, lean it forward, tighten your bar nuts. So keep your bar up. I always have a shirt with a pocket or cargo style pants. I always have a shirt with a pocket or cargo style pants on when I'm running my saw. So if you take the chain off, I put the nuts in the pocket. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. It's a little too tight. Oh, it does run the whole day, yeah. Absolutely. Something that always gets me in these newer saws is these new chains don't really stretch as much, and it's always tough because you always feel like the chain's super loose. But if you tighten it anymore, you're just wearing on your saw. It's getting way too hot. So that looks pretty good right there, though. I like to tighten it so when you pull it, it just barely comes out of your bar. Moves nicely. I learned this one too. Take your scrunch, right? And now when my sheath is all the way on, I still got a little bit of space right in front of the dogs, right? So I take my scrunch with the shorter sheath, put it inside there, and that isn't going to go anywhere. It's always right there. Because a lot of these scrunches are, specific to whatever saw you have. Not always, but you know what I mean. If you have a larger saw and a smaller saw, they're not going to take the same scrunch. One saw down. How many more to do? Well, considering one saw took an hour and 46 minutes. Overton, you should do that. That way you do know, like, put it. Make sure you put it in the DeWalt saw. Although I do want I'm knocking on the DeWalt saw. I do want a DeWalt saw. I want specifically I want the Milwaukee because I have the batteries for it. But I want a Milwaukee because I have the batteries for it. But I would like an electric saw because sometimes it's just breaking on something like this is just not worth the hassle. All right, is our hand warmer still going? Went out. I do have a 32-inch bar here and a chain that I need to sharpen. Let's see. I've got a couple 32s here that need to get sharpened, but I think I might save those for another night. Branch is not too far away from my house. I can use my skill saw and an extension cord. That's right. Although I like the Sawzall with the what is it called? Pruning blade. That seems to work pretty good. I've been known to break out the Sawzall with it, like a cordless Sawzall with a pruning blade. I've got this 32 here. I've got a regular full skip chain. This has got to get sharpened because I rocked one side of it. Full skip doesn't really work too well in here. You really got to get into the full house or full comp. You're just not getting enough teeth into the wood. Software works great, but you really got to get full house. And then I got a full house 32-inch. This is a rip chain. Which is this one's new, but I got my rip chain right here, and I got my sawmill over here in the ground. That one of these days we'll break out the sawmill and put it on the saw. Bro, I was thinking Sawzall with a zip tie on the trigger, an extension cord, and a broom handle taped on it with duct tape, and you're good to go. That's right. Yeah, I got my Alaskan mill that I'd like to break out eventually. I've never used it, but I really want to. But it's tough because you need two saws, and I have one saw, but it's too small really to buck with. Just make sure no one is close to you while you run it. Oh, on the other side, you actually should have someone on the plug end, so that way you can just put it up in the tree and plug it in, right? Well, one of those mills in the worst way. Yeah, I got sawdust all over my laptop. Overton, thanks for coming. Have a good day, guys. Good rest of your day, I should say. Yeah, I picked up that mill not too long ago, and I had good intention of using it, but one of these days. One of these days, right? I think this is probably another night, though. We'll do a 32-inch chain. Full skip. Probably, maybe tomorrow, another night, something like that. We'll figure it out. And we got snow Saturday, so if you guys want to see a snow stream, I think I gotta get my subscribers up just a little bit more. But what are we at now? I think we're at 38 last I checked. We're at 39. So Overton told me I need 50 to do mobile stream, and I'd like to do a snow stream when I'm plowing. I run a loader with a push box on it, so I'd like to give that a try. If anyone wants to subscribe, please do. I'd appreciate it. Steel combi system is handy too. I don't think I've used a steel combi system. Which one is that, WRC? Oh, Crazy Cajun, thank you for coming. Still trying to get 50 subs from when I think I'm at 18 and I can stream this weekend. I have a way to stream this on my phone. Yeah, I was kind of in the same boat. I also don't do too many things that are too interesting. That's not outside. So, yeah, I was in the same boat. That's why I'm trying to get up to 50, because I think I do more interesting things outdoors, and I would be able to stream more if I was outside. Appreciate it, Rick. Have a good night. Oh, I thought you said you were leaving. I'll go stop. Oh, thank you. Multiple accessories, one power head. Oh, is that the combi system? I think I've seen that in like a different brand. So it's like a trimmer, but you can change out the heads on it. I don't even have a webcam for my desktop. I'm not good with tech. Yeah, I didn't have a webcam for years, and then I bought one because when I was in school, we went remote because of COVID, I guess, and so everyone did school from home essentially, and I had to buy one, or you just had to, I guess. It's like a weed whacker power head that you can change the attachment on weed whacker, chainsaw, small tiller, edger, power broom. But wow, that is a lot of things. Yeah, I've seen those in different brands. Those seem pretty interesting. I would like to have like a pole saw like that. Maybe you could steal a kid's laptop and use the camera if they brought that home from school. Yeah. But all right, gentlemen, I think that wraps it up for me tonight. I'll let you guys know if I'm doing another one. I probably will. I got 2 more chains to sharpen here. We got a whole bunch of little things I gotta do. I gotta clean all the guns. What else? I put a nice nick in this axe the other day. Gotta get that out. We'll see if we can get that to show up. Took it right out. A couple of them. One there, one there. Still sharp. I mean, it is. I sharpened this real nice a few weeks ago, and I use it a lot. But you get it in the rocks, and it kind of just chips up real easily. But this might be one of the best ones I bought. I like this thing a lot. It's just a cold steel Trail Boss, and if you don't have one of these, I would definitely buy one, because these are like, I don't know, $30, $40, and it's been unbelievable. I mean, I've fixed the handle. I've sharpened this thing to a point where you touch it and you would cut you. It's hung well. It has not come loose anywhere. And Prandy sheaths will fit it, just like that. Got the exact same one, huh? we all pretty much sub to each other and watch the content. Yeah, that's right. It's a group, right? All right, gentlemen. Have a good rest of your night. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it.